Hello everybody, David Rodriguez here, and today's video is going to be a little bit different than kind of the fitness things that we usually go over, but I think it's equally as important because not only do you have your own physical body, but you also have your own mental capacity and I guess you could say mental body, that is your mindset. And sometimes we can kind of have these problem emotions or these problem barriers that we go through, and whether it be fear, depression, or anger, or jealousy, or whatever your specific emotion tends to be, we can hopefully this cycle that I was taught whenever I was going through my own personal battle can help you reshape your mind and help you think more positively. Now, positive doesn't mean being happy-go-lucky all the time and like, yeah, everything's great, but it's more that we are shifting. So like, right, so if we're on a spectrum, negative emotions here, more positive emotions here, that we shift away from those negative and eke ourselves more into the positive emotion, or the positive spectrum of the positive emotions of that spectrum. There we go. So, first thing is that when we feel these emotions, we have to kind of recognize what's going on. And so I like to think of it either as you have a role model, or you can phrase a question as in 5 years, will what had happened to me matter? Right? In 5 years, will it matter? Whatever, I didn't put the thing, but, or for your role model is, so for me, like a personal role model of mine is always kind of trying to be like Superman. Like, how would Superman feel in this like situation? And would he take it to like such extremes? And or another question is, if you're more of a realist person, you say, would a rational person feel this way about this situation? And if the answers to those questions are kind of like no, right? In 5 years, will this matter? No. If a rational person felt this, would a rational person feel this way? No. And with a role model, would my role model feel this way? If the answer is no, then you are like kind of taking your first step in understanding that, hey, these emotions or the state that I am in is clearly not healthy and is probably detrimental, perhaps, to you as a person. So now, once you have recognized, right, you recognize your problem, or at least now that you've recognized the emotional state that you're in and you want to change it, the second thing that helped me was to feel it, right? Understand that it's okay to feel this emotional state that you're in, whether you're sad, you're angry, you're jealous, or whatever it happens to be. Feel what it is and then let it go. And what helped me visualize it whenever I was dealing with my own personal struggles is that almost kind of like I envisioned like a ball of that emotion, and I would like make it physical with my breath. So every time I inhaled, I like imagined like a ball was in my hand. So I'd be like, and then I have the ball, and then when I'm ready to just kind of let go, or just, and then the physical act of like releasing my breath and like letting go really helped me to not only visualize it, but to literally really feel me getting rid, or at least just letting go of that emotion and not like holding on to it so tight and trying to bottle it away or trying to throw it in the corner of my head or whatever. It really helped me like, hey, it's okay to feel this way, and it's okay to kind of like understand what's happening, but now it's time that it has to be let go, and I can't. And there's no good in holding on to it and trying to fight and combat it. You just kind of have to like, almost kind of like the Bruce Lee thing, flow like water. Just whatever happens, just like, yeah, okay, it's fine. Which a lot of these things, it's a lot easier said than done, but persistent practice and persistent thoughts like this will really help shape the way that you want to feel, and you're not just gonna have to sit there and feel like, oh, I can't do anything about this. And then so the third and final tip is, so now that we have recognized our problem, we have now felt what we need to feel and have let it go. So now we kind of have this void that can be filled. And then so we fill that void with more positive thoughts. Fill the void with positivity. Now, what do I mean by like positivity? Now, that doesn't mean you have to be like happy-go-lucky, everything is great for me. But for example, if your problem emotion is like anger or whatever, so you have recognized, let it go, now you have your void, now fill that with emotions of like peace, or at least just moving slightly less angry than you were before, and then just keep working through your cycle like that. Same thing if you were depressed and or sad. Once you have let your go of that emotion, now start thinking of trying to bring yourself maybe more to a more neutral state of mind, and saying that, hey, like, these things happen, it's okay to be sad, but we can't wallow in this, and now it is time to move on and to kind of extend into a more peaceful state of mind, or think about maybe the positive, if there are positive consequences of whatever has happened to you. Same thing for jealousy, maybe for whatever, or no, sorry, a better one is fear, because typically triggers and people in general tend to fight with fear a whole lot. That once you have felt your fear, now you let it go. It's okay to be scared, but then now it's time to take that first step into whatever it is, whether it's a big trick, or you're setting yourself to make a big play, or the pressure's on you and you have to do it. Visualize what you need to do, boom, and then enact the plan. And then so just, as I said earlier, just continue going through the cycle. It really helped me to feel this way, and to help me to shift my mindset from so negative and so dark and brooding and all that stuff to a more realistic, positive mindset that I think really helped facilitate my growth into who I am today and what I continually try and strive for as a person. My name, David Rodriguez, Stomp Tricking. I know it's a little bit different than what we usually do, but I really hope that y'all like this, and I hope that you enact this. If you have questions, concerns, comments, please like, subscribe, follow me, Instagram, stomp.tricking, and I hope that y'all have a good day. Peace.